Good morning, students. I hope everyone is well and good wherever you are. So, in Science 2 subject, I'm going to teach you your chapter number 15. And just be careful and listen it very carefully. I'm going to start the chapter with its introduction. Let's start our chapter, right? So, our chapter number 15 is about life process in living being in living organism. Living organisms, it include everything: plants, microorganisms, small microorganisms, small living organisms, bigger, higher level of organisms, whatever categorizes in a nature, everything it will include. So, we are going to learn regarding that how they are working and how they are performing their day-to-day life activity, whether biologically, chemically, what is happening inside their body and how they are performing. So regarding that biological process, we are going to deal with this in this chapter for each and every organisms, right? Now, you would have heard about your digestive system and the respiratory system. What basically is a system? It is in digestive system. If you eat food from your mouth to intestine, it will go and it will pass through in between many passages of your body, right, through the organs. And what will happen? The food transportation will takes place. What about your respiratory system? Respiratory system, what happens in generally, they will exchange the gases of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the lungs through the alveoli and many larynx and pharynx. It will pass, and esophagus it will pass. Then it will, what it will do, it will exchange the oxygen and carbon dioxide, perform certain activities. There itself it will form a chemical compounds inside the lungs. So a body is used to get those chemicals in our body, like oxygen will get purified, and throughout the body it will transport the oxygenated form of molecules, right, to perform respiration system in a perfect manner, right? So that is your introduction part regarding transportation of living in the living organisms. What happens generally, the picture you are seeing on your screen, it is about vegetables and fruit, right? How these vegetables are performing their activity, means through the plant, what type of nutrients they are getting from the soil, so that they are able to produce plant these type of fruits or vegetables from the plant, whatever we are eating. And when we are eating, what inside our body, what is happening with this, with these fruits or vegetables, right? That is the main thing, how the transportation is takes place through from a starting point of organism to the end point of the organism, right? Now, generally, the in that first part we are going to learn about the plant, how the plant transportation will takes place, that is through the soil and the richest sources substances present in the soil. What it will do, in the diagram you can see that the root will absorb the substance which is present in a soil, and a specific type of tissue function will takes place. Those tissue is nothing but the xylem, right? It will and also connected with the conducting tissues. Many tissues will be there, many cells will be there inside the soil. And through the water it will perform their activity in plants, right? And what happens through the, that is a transportation outline in the plant, right? Now, in transpiration, what will happen? Transportation means generally from the root, the plant will absorb everything, means whatever it requires for their nutrients product, right? And in transpiration, what will happen? The root cell, actually what happen in transportation, that is from the root hair or the root part of the plant, the soil particle, it will go transport all the things through the cortex is type of a layer which is present in a soil. And after that, what it will do, through the xylem it will transport it throughout the whole plant, right? This is the process. And whatever you on your screen, you can see that through the groundwater, what is happening through that, the water is going upward direction towards the plant, the tip of the part of the plant. Through that transpiration is taking place. Transpiration means evaporation of water from the plant. That is how it is happening. Which phenomenon? From the sun. The heat is coming from the sun or the sun rays, like that. From that it is transpiration taking place. After that condensation will takes place. Condensation, again precipitation, then raining process. That is a water cycle. Don't get confused. That is also in water cycle. Transpiration process is also occur. So that they have explained little bit. You should know the little bit extra part rather than your syllabus, so it will be easy to correlate your topic with the realistic world, whatever going on in our day to day life or in living organisms, right? Now, here here the process is given from the root, a special type of cell, that is xylem. This is a function through the xylem, how their transpiration takes place. The water will goes in upward direction. This is a direction they have shown that in a red color. If you are able to see on your screen, in this diagram it is clearly given. Through this xylem and stomata type, xylem, it will perform upward direction of water, and through stomata type of cell will present the outer layer of the leaf, which will get open. And after that, what will happen? Through the xylem, mesophyll cells inside the leaf cell will take those type of water molecules, right? This is a process how the transpiration takes place. Transpiration of plants is mainly perform three types of functions, that is water absorbed by root, water travels up through plant, and water vapor lost from leaf pores in transpiration, right? This is a diagram which is labeled with the 1 2 3, and they have given their functions, right? It is very easy. It is also given in your book. You will be able to get it while reading the sentence, right? Now, what happens in transpiration pull? One transpiration pull term is also given in your book. What happens? The stomatal opening, the outer layer, the thin layer cell is arrangement of the cell on the leaf surface. The guard cells will be there. Through the tissues, it will open. Whenever transpiration takes place, it will open the stomatal cell, and it will easily helps those water molecules to come out and perform transpiration process in the form of water vapor, right? Now, what about the food transport in plant? Generally through the photosynthesis, you would have came across this term, the photosynthesis. What happens in that? The sugar, carbohydrate, and water molecule will form generally in the presence of sunlight, right? The food produced in the leaves is transported to each cell in plant body, right? Except amino acid. Amino acid is very complicated process to form. So through the translocation, this is known as translocation of material. The whatever it produces in the root and fruit and the seeds, it consumes some sort of nutrients in their components, right? That is known as translocation of material. Translocation, transportation, transpiration, these things are very these are different terms, so don't get confused in that. Every term having their own meaning. And on your on your screen the diagram is there. Food transport in plant, generally sugar food they have given, because they will produce sugar only, mainly through the root they will produce, and it will goes on till the tip of the plant, right? And in a form of which form of energy will form in a plant? That is in the form of, chemically it is ATP, and physically what we used to see, that is the fruit. And upward and downward direction by folium, it will goes on, okay? Through these two type of components present, xylem or folium. Xylem will helps for transportation, but for folium for transport of food materials, right? So just be clear with this term. And these are transported towards the floral buds to make them open and blossom. That is for flower they have given, right? Now, the excretion in plants, what happens? What the term means? Excretion, the waste product, or at last when our physical process or eating food process, or in plant it is making of food processes get over or completed. After that time, After that some extent of time it will stop the function, right? After that the waste product it is there in the plant also. What it will does, it will do, it will excrete from the plant slowly. Okay, and it is a very simple process, and not like human being. It is, there is no special organ in plant for this is the diffusion process will takes place. Diffusion mean exchanges of gases. Once it will stop performing their activity, they will start excretion or producing that CO2 gases from the plant part, right? And most of the waste product present in their vacuoles, where it will present the vacuole component will be there in the leaf. And after that leaf falls will also takes place. Xylem having resin and gums as a waste product. Gums you would have seen on the bark of the trees, that is pink color, sometimes orange color. It will be like that. So that is nothing but the excretion in plant, and it is a waste product of plant throughout the through roots to surrounding soils also. They'll start excreting those products, okay, after completion of their process. So till now we have seen the life process in living organisms for plants. Okay, in the next class we'll see for organisms also. And for your homework, before before ending this chapter, for your homework you have to go through the related question of the transportation transport or the transpiration part of your question, and try to solve this term of questions. Go through it. After completion of full chapter, I'll provide you a link in which there will be some objective questions, and it will be like your practice only. You have to fill and submit. But before that, just go through it. After completion of whole chapter only I'll give. Before that, try to complete your all the questions, right? In the next class we'll see some other type of explanation with this chapter only. Till that, thank you.